Did you know that a forest in Japan is known as the suicide forest? And some believe it's not just the tragedies that haunt it. Deep in the mountains of Japan lies the Aokigahara forest, a place shrouded in mystery. It's been the site of countless deaths. People come here to end their lives. But what if the forest itself has something darker waiting for them? Something ancient, something that predates the human suffering. There are stories, old stories, whispered among locals. Tales of restless spirits, of figures seen in the fog, watching. Some say that Aokigahara is cursed, that it was once the burial ground for fallen soldiers, victims of an ancient war. Others claim it's a portal, a rift to the underworld itself. Whatever the truth is, one thing is clear: the forest doesn't let go. It all began hundreds of years ago when a village stood near the forest's edge. In those days, when the elderly were seen as burdens, a grim tradition existed. The family would take the elderly to the heart of Aokigahara. There they would leave them to die, alone in the forest's embrace. They were called ubasute, or granny dumping. Their spirits never left, and now they wait. Lost souls, trapped in the thick trees and thick mist. Some say they're still there, watching, waiting. One man, Hiroshi Nakamura, decided to explore the forest. He had heard the stories, of course, but he was a skeptic, a man of science, logic, and reason. He dismissed the warnings, laughed at the locals, and went into the forest alone. What he didn't know was that the forest was already watching him. At first, everything seemed fine. The air was still, the trees towering over him like silent sentinels. But as Hiroshi ventured deeper, he noticed something strange. The sounds. The birds, the wind, everything fell silent. Only the crunching of his footsteps on the dry leaves broke the eerie stillness. And then he saw something. A figure. A woman standing between two trees. Her silhouette was almost like a shadow. He thought it was a trick of the light. But then she turned. Her eyes were hollow. Empty, like a mask frozen in time. Hiroshi froze. The world around him seemed to spin. The trees, once familiar, now felt alive. They were closing in. He couldn't move. His legs felt heavy, like they were sinking into the ground. As the figure stepped closer, Hiroshi realized something. Her feet didn't touch the ground. She hovered inches above it. The air around her grew colder, frigid like the touch of death itself. And then the whispers started. At first, they were faint, barely audible. But the closer the woman came, the louder the voices became. They were the voices of the forgotten, the voices of those abandoned to die in the forest. Hiroshi tried to run, but his legs wouldn't obey. He could feel their presence behind him, around him. Hundreds of spirits, their hands reaching, their mouths silent but screaming. The whispers grew louder, more frantic. Then they stopped. Suddenly, the forest was completely still. No sounds, no movement, only the cold. Hiroshi turned to face the figure again, but she was gone. In her place, a dense fog had rolled in, thick as tar. He could barely see his own hand in front of him. Panic began to take hold. Hiroshi ran. He didn't know where he was going, only that he had to escape. The forest was vast, but it felt smaller now, like it was folding in on him. His breathing grew frantic, each step more desperate than the last. But every time he tried to turn back, the trees seemed to shift. The path he had followed was gone. The forest had changed. He had no way out. Hours passed. Days? He wasn't sure. The fog never lifted. The voices returned, louder now, clearer. He was no longer alone, but he couldn't see them. He could feel them around him. They were closing in, trapping him. The next morning, a search party found Hiroshi's belongings. His camera, his backpack, everything except for him. He was never found. Some say he became one of the spirits. Others believe that the forest claimed him, that it's still waiting for him to wander back into its depths. But the forest didn't stop there. Weeks later, another hiker went missing, and then another, and another, and another. Each time, a body would never be found. Only a small pile of belongings left behind. A camera, a watch, a pair of boots. The Aokigahara forest has been dubbed the suicide forest for a reason. But what the world doesn't know is that it's not just a place of despair. It's a place of consumption, of souls. It feeds on those who dare to enter it, those who believe they are immune to its darkness. So the next time you hear about someone going missing in Aokigahara, ask yourself this: did they go missing? Or did they simply become another lost soul in the forest's endless embrace? And one question remains: is it still waiting for you?